I am very behind. It is November and I am only just beginning my holiday prep. If you are a small business owner, you know that this typically begins in September, and it is election day here in the US, and I am only getting right now to the part where I get to assemble the ornaments that I've been working on for the past week. I am really excited about it, and so today that is the number one thing we need to do. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I am Alexis. I'm a full-time artist here in Brooklyn, New York, and on this channel typically I share my art and inspiration and love of the city, and sometimes small business ownership. And if that sounds like something you're into, I invite you to stick around. I have a whole workstation set up here at the kitchen table, and I just need to get busy. And so today we're gonna see how far we can get, and I'll share some of the process over the past several days and even the one day in July when I actually pulled this out thinking I was gonna be able to get a head start, and then life just does what she does, and here we are. But let's go ahead and get this set up and get started, because I am feeling pretty good about how much progress we'll be able to make today, but I also know I need to just get started, so let's go. So I think with how quickly we can get basically anything that we desire, that instant gratification, we have lost a true connection to how long things truly take to create. If you think about fast fashion and what have you, versus something that is truly handmade. Handmade items take so long, and if you are like me and you are a creative and an artist and you are making things with your hands, you understand just how slow the process truly is. And so every year when I endeavor to make ornaments for the holiday shop update, I have to take into account and be very realistic with myself with how long this process will actually take. I am in the habit of grossly underestimating how much time something might take, and then I'm surprised when it takes 4 or 5 times longer. But I first started offering these ornaments back in 2021. And every year since then, I think I have had a very realistic understanding of the time commitment that these truly are. And honestly, I love them. It doesn't matter that it takes 2 weeks for each design to create. Sure, I could offer it in fewer colorways, or I could offer fewer items, but the thing that I really love is creating with my hands and offering it, sharing it with others. And these indent ornaments are just one way that I can honor those memories of my grandparents and that time of year that always meant so much to me. And so, I don't know. Yeah, they take a long time, but I really, really love creating them. And I started this process back in July. I spent a day taking an inventory of all of the paper that I had so that I could decide if I needed to order any just like bulk of a single color. And I then took inventory of what I had left from last year's holiday season. I maybe should have done this at the end of the season last year, but man, once you get through that push, I just needed to set it aside for a minute before I pulled it back out. And so in July, I kind of took stock and I made a plan for this year, and I spent the day at my computer designing this new indent trio that I'd be offering this year, and I created my first mock-up of it. And recently, Mario and I celebrated 12 years of wedded bliss. We've been together for 17, married for 12, because we met when we were babes. And I love the pond in Central Park. This is where we got hitched, and we go every year on the day of the anniversary and grab a coffee and go to our little corner of Central Park, and it was just a really, really lovely day. And nearby in Midtown, there is this building called the Petrosian, and it is just really fancy apartments, but the outside of the building is so beautiful. And I cannot tell you how many times I have lamented the fact that we do not build buildings like this anymore. And at the end of our day, we ended up by the Bryant Park, New York Public Library, and this is one of my absolute favorite places in the city. I have spent the morning already compiling. There you go. So this is like, they're double-sided or double layered, right? And each of these has 2 layers of paper that I've already glued. And then I will combine them and hang the ornament hook here, but then I'll have all of the elements with some glitter layers that go on the front. Right now, I need to get these base layers connected, and then from there, I can start adding the glitter. I don't know how long this is gonna take. It's really rough on my fingers, if I'm being quite honest, just because edges of cut paper, it's sharp. You think about paper cuts. And so it's funny how I always forget each year how it kind of shreds my finger. So I think I might try rolling a can over it, because I just need something like hard and flat that will kind of smooth it out. So I'm gonna find a hard, flat surface. Actually, yeah, and we'll see if that'll work. But I am gonna get the reds and greens done, and then I'm gonna pull in the neons and the fun combos, and then once we get those base layers done, we can start with some of the more fun elements. But I just wanted to show you where I've set up, and this is just 4 sets of the ornaments so far. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm offering 4 sets of each. I sold out of quite a few of the ornaments last year, which was really nice. And so we'll just see what happens this year. But I am very much looking forward to getting this started and making progress. So let's stop chatting and let's get this moving. So one of the most important things when I'm doing this is to make sure that there's no extra glue, so there's no like extraneous glue marks on the ornaments. And when I use my fingers, there's usually just glue on my fingertips and then like on the paper, so I can do a quick swipe. But I really want to save my finger this year. So I'm gonna try it with the cup, but I'm already realizing that there's this extra surface now that I have to wipe down. And I think it's just part of it. Honestly, it's just when I am adhering the fronts and the backs, and then the front to the backs, that I have to worry about this process, because when I'm doing the other elements, it's a little bit different. But I think that this is gonna work. It's just gonna take a little bit more mindfulness to make sure that there's like no wet glue that will leave a stripe where I don't want the stripe. probably a couple of hours, and this is just the first of many steps, so you can begin to see just how labor intensive this process is. But the thing is, I really love them. I'm gonna move to my desk and I'm gonna pull out the first versions of them so that you can see kind of the evolution over the years. But yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna keep moving because I really do think I can make this progress today, and I'll feel really good about it. And then tomorrow, when the election is happening, your girl voted early, which was great. So I think what I'm gonna do to avoid just like the sheer panic of everything, tomorrow I'm gonna put in some Christmas music and I'm gonna keep making progress on this, but I really wanna see how far we can get today. So I just pulled out the box that has all of the past year's ornaments as I have been troubleshooting, and I always forget how many of these older versions I have. I don't know, man. I'm curious if I can save some of these, but you'll see these are, I think, from 2022. This is the first version of that. You can see, it's funny because I'm looking at these and these are in pretty good shape. But the thing is, when I put the string in for these, I put them in side by side. And that created, like, now when they hang, they kind of hang sideways. I didn't quite fully understand the hanging process. So I think if I wanted to, I could do some like minor deconstructing to reconstruct and salvage some of these. So let me see if I can get like a full set of the same colorway so you can see. So if we're doing the pink one, this was the original design for the trio. We have the round and the angular and then whatever that shape is. So that was the first batch. And then last year was the second year I did these indent trios. And man, there's so many ornaments in here. Like I have so many ornaments in here that I have had sealed up because I've improved the design. And I'm wondering now, I'm glad I didn't toss them. I'm wondering if I can salvage some of it. That was the first design. And then last year, we can stick with the pink. I got actual ornament hooks for them. And I took out the iridescent and I added a third color. And I really like these. And this was the year that I really feel like I got the back solid, so you can't see the hook in the front or the back. It's just like a really solid ornament. And then I put the hook in there, and then now when you hang it, it'll actually hang forward facing. Because we live and we learn. And then this year we are working on a new design, and this will show you kind of like the basic of it, of what we're building right now. I have improved this design since I created this back in July. I spent really, I think, all of Halloween Day sitting at my computer working through this, but this is like a gist of it, if you will. So then this is the design for this year. Just some different shapes and some different designs, but I really love these like vintage ornaments. And so, you know, I don't work with metals or whatever, the aluminum, I don't know what they're made out of. I work with paper. So I've made them out of paper, and I really love them. I really love them. And I think that this is one of those examples of like, create what you love, right? Now that you know a little bit more of what it is that we are creating, I'm gonna get this area cleaned up and set up. And Mario and I also got back into the city to celebrate my very dear friend Mohan, Momo St. Clair. He is a playwright here in the city. I taught with him for 5 years, maybe a couple more than that. I don't know, I lost track, but he is writing incredible plays, and this was a reading that they put on of his latest work, and it was just truly wonderful and inspiring to see someone you love doing what they love. And I really am so honored that I was able to be there to celebrate him and the tremendous work that he is producing. And then we ended up taking a little walk through the Lower East Side and ended up in the Elizabeth Street Garden, which is in danger of being closed down and is truly one of the most lovely gardens that the city has to offer. All right, back to today. Let's get to building these ornaments and adding those glitter flourishes and getting this process well underway. So this video is coming out a little late. I filmed all of this ornament creation on Election Day, and while I desperately hoped for a different outcome, I am not surprised that we are headed into another Trump presidency, because I know white America, and I know what they stand for, and I know who they vote for, and I understand very much what it is that they are trying to hold on to. And I also have a very deep understanding of the great harm that is about to befall many, many communities, not only here in America, but honestly, I think it's going to have a worldwide reach. And so, I don't know. I'm in a little bit of a denial, if I'm honest with you. I just keep telling myself, stay grounded, stay focused, and just get ready, right? And then come January, one foot in front of the other, and do what you can to make sure that your community is safe. Paper for the People began with Trump's last presidency. It began with a sign that I created for the very, very first Women's March back in 2017 during his inauguration, and then in the subsequent years. And outside of these ornaments for the holidays, what I create is truly grounded in resistance. And it is grounded in a push against the status quo and white supremacy, in challenging us to envision what is possible when we create a society where all are free and all may thrive, and there is a great care for one another above all else. When we dare to dream of putting people above profit and people above ideology. And so, Project 2025 is truly fucking horrendous. It's horrendous. And time will tell how successful they are in rolling out everything that they have spelled out within that document. But one thing I know is that there is great power in the people, and that when we are united, we will not be defeated. And so I am allowing myself a moment of perhaps grief of what could have been but will not be. And also, I am very much preparing for how I will show up and how I will care for those who are near me and how I can continue to contribute to my community as we resist the fascism that is beginning to unfold here in America. And I'll be honest with you, I am not going to tell you that if you are a Trump supporter to leave. I don't find a benefit in severing communication. But if you've been here for a minute, I do think it's very clear what I stand for and what my values are. What is most important to me right now is that my loved ones and my neighbors are safe, and their safety comes above anyone else's comfort, if you know what I'm saying. So, here we go. But yeah, I think also part of navigating this, and something that I have learned through time in community, is just how significant joy is in the resistance. And so I am really trying to stay grounded, and I am really trying to hold on to joy and hope, and not hope as like a willy-nilly thing, but hope as a determination, hope in a steadfastness of envisioning the future that I believe that we all deserve. So that's all I'm going to say on that right now. There's going to be so much more, I'm sure, that pops up in the future, but stay grounded, stay connected, keep reading, and find your hope and find your joy, because together we can do this. All right, it's been a full day and I have half of them assembled. In that, I have all of the glitter pieces. I still have to attach the front to the back and add the hooks and the strings that you can actually organize them or hang them from the tree. But I'll eventually, not today, I'm gonna put a hook in between these two layers and then attach a string and they'll hang. So I still have that to do, but overall a really productive day, and we're gonna go grab some Thai food before we spend the rest of the evening watching these results come in. But nothing like a little bit of distraction on election day. I feel really good, so a solid day, half of them done. That means hopefully within like 2 more days, I'll have these indent ornaments done, and then I can begin the next batch of ornaments. They usually take me about 2 weeks, and I'm thinking that that is what it is going to pan out to be this year. But I just want to say, if you've made it this far in this vlog, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I truly, truly appreciate it. And if you found enjoyment or value here, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. That helps YouTube know to send it out to more people like you. And if you would like to follow along as I share my life as a full-time artist here in New York City, I would be truly honored if you subscribed. We have a small but growing, really wonderful community here, and I would be honored to have you a part of it. And with all of that being said, lastly, whatever time of day you've watched this, I hope it has been a kind one. Until next time.